name is Lindsay Courier, and today I'm going to be talking with you about paying for college. In this section, we will discuss financial aid and scholarship information. There are different types of financial aid. Financial aid is just a term that's given for any money awarded to a student to help pay for college to cover the cost of attendance. So there are merit-based awards, and these are academic scholarships and athletic scholarships, and there are also need-based that are student loans and work study and grants. As you can see, funding for financial aid comes in many different forms, including federal, state, institutional, and private. So I'm sure you are asking, how do I apply for financial aid and scholarships? So the first thing that must be done is you just need to apply for admission to the college of your choice. You need to make sure that you're meeting deadlines for all of your college applications, and many scholarships through an institution are linked to these priority deadlines. So scholarship applications, they just might be part of the admission application, or they might be separate. It's really important to check on that college website and with your admission counselor at each college, because we want to make sure that you are applying for any scholarship which you might be eligible for. The next thing you need to do is to make sure that you apply for the FAFSA. We encourage all students to apply for the FAFSA. This is the free application for federal student aid, and this is what's used for families to be considered for federal need-based, state need-based, and institutional need-based. So this application opens up October 1st of the student's senior year and has to be completed each year following that. The deadline for the state of Indiana is April 15th, but sometimes colleges have their own deadlines. So again, it's important to check on those specific colleges for their specific deadlines. The website for the FAFSA is fasfa.ed.gov. The FAFSA website. So it's really important that you are on the .gov website. And it's important to remember that the FAFSA, to fill it out, is free. So if they're asking you for money, then you are on the wrong website. So before you can fill out the FAFSA, you have to create a FAFSA ID. And so this is used as your official account information, and this is how you will electronically sign that FAFSA. So here is what that website looks like. The FAFSA calculates your EFC, your expected family contribution. So this is taking and making a formula with your parents' contribution from income and assets, plus a student contribution from available income, and that is how they determine the expected family contribution. Another term you will see is COA. This is the cost of attendance. So direct costs are ones that you're billed for. This is tuition and fees and rooms and board. An indirect cost, this just depends on the student. If they're studying abroad, just different books, depends on the classes that they're taking, personal computer. So those are just the indirect cost, and again, varies per student. So the biggest thing is the estimated family contribution, that EFC. So if it's based on what that cost of attendance is to go to that particular college. So you can see by this chart that the cost of college A costs $50,000 to go to that school, that cost of attendance. Whereas college C, it's $5,000. So if the estimated family contribution is 15, then there's zero need if the student goes to college C. Whereas the need is much greater if a student decides to go to a more expensive college. A net price calculator is a really great tool to help families get an estimate of their EFC, that estimated family contribution. So a student can look at this and use it even before a student applies for admission. It helps kind of answer that question of, is this college affordable for our family? So every college and university has one of these on their website. In fact, they must. It allows families to see what those expenses out of pocket would look like with and without student loans. So it's going to give that estimate. So this is a really great tool. There's many other scholarships that students can take advantage of, and we house these in Naviance. So those are outside agencies, local organizations, foundations, employers. So any senior can look for these different scholarships on Naviance. This is great because we can put all this information here, and we just really encourage them to check back this on this site on Naviance very often, because we're always updating that, and scholarships come available throughout the year. Sometimes we have some scholarships that not a lot of students are applying for, so if they take the time to fill out those applications, then they are putting themselves out there and putting themselves in a position to get those scholarships. So this is what Naviance screenshot of it looks like, and this is where they would find where those scholarships are listed. So they would go over to the college tab, and they would click on it, and then they would go down to that scholarships and money, click on that, and then you can either see the scholarship list, or students can do a national scholarship search. So again, that scholarship list we update all through the year. And those are things that are available to our Westfield students. So like the Education Foundation, our Chamber of Commerce, and then we have lots of scholarships listed here. That National Scholarship Search, the one that this links to is the one through Sally Mae. So students go through and answer questions and get to filter out things that they might be eligible for. So this opens, it's much broader because obviously it's a national search. So what happens after all of this? So when a student applies to a college, then that college will provide you with a detailed financial aid award if a student was admitted. This is going to include any merit-based scholarship that a student might have received, so those things that they earn based on grades or test scores. Then they will also list any need-based, so again, that family contribution based on the FAFSA, anything they might qualify for need-based wise. And then it's going to give your out-of-pocket expenses with and without student loans. So it's really important that you review each of these financial aid rewards and just discuss as a family if those colleges are affordable and which is best financial fit for your family. You also have to make sure that to complete any award acceptance forms for the college you ultimately choose. And again, that FAFSA is something that has to be completed and updated each year. And it's based on tax information. So their website is very user-friendly, and it can link to your tax information, but it's something that has to be updated each year. So where do you go to get help with this? So when you are working through the admissions process, contacting the college's financial aid counselor when you have questions or need help is a really, really great resource. So that financial aid counselor in office can help, especially when there's like some special circumstances that aren't accounted for specifically in the FAFSA. And because this is based on basically 2 years before tax information, sometimes circumstances have changed with the family. So there's a wide variety of frequently asked questions on the FAFSA website. They also have a free helpline at 1-800-4-FED-8. So that's there on the screen.